All right, NBA's back. Summer League already. California Classic. What do they call the one in Utah? The Rocky Mountain, something like that. But the Warriors, game one of this California Classic, Saturday afternoon at the Chase Center. And unfortunately, you get the news they're sitting the two rookies, Alex Tui and Will Richard, because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, from my understanding, they should be playing today. They just didn't want to play them back to back because they probably haven't been playing in a while. You know, they got to rev them up, as they like to say, from the trainers. And so that was a little bit disappointing. No Bronny James for the Lakers. But we ended up getting something that was actually really valuable in this first game here against the Lakers, because the Lakers came out and full court pressed and were just playing dogged defense. And I'm here for it in Summer League. If that's going to be how, you saw Miami, San Antonio, kind of the same thing. If we're going to get this super physical with the 10 fouls and like hyper intense defense, we'll learn more about these actual prospects in that type of environment. And who we did see was Taran Armstrong, another Australian player, a point guard, 6'6". He was in Santa Cruz for the second half of last season. And what we got to see was him tested against big, aggressive NBA athletes, picking up ball pressure on him in the backcourt and really trying to bully him. Like, the Lakers were damn near playing prison ball in that first half. They're like, hey, you ain't going to call no fouls. We don't care. That was their mindset. But again, what it provided was, like, how does Taran Armstrong respond to that? And he responded and passed with flying colors. There was a play at the end of the second quarter where he got tangled up with the dude on him. They hooked arms, and the dude tried to get in his face. He shoved him back. They had to be separated. And then he calmly knocked 2 free throws down, because it's one thing to push back and get chippy with somebody that's getting physical with you, but does it get you out of your game, right? Now can you not be in rhythm and be in your game? And it didn't rattle him one bit. He's got an elite handle. He's 6'6", little flashy. He's going to be a turnover guy just in his style of play. With that elite handle comes the tendency to probably over dribble. It's like he wants to show it off. He's got the ball on a string, and so he's going to just dribble for the sake of dribbling at times. But I really loved how he responded to the physical defense, the backcourt, and he just didn't bat an eye. Surprise, surprise, tough Australian. And so Taran Armstrong, great Summer League debut, and got us into our offense despite the ball pressure. As the Warriors in the second half kind of realized, oh, this is what y'all want to do? Y'all want to play like this? We could do that too, right? But what was probably more intriguing is Isaiah Mobley, Evan Mobley's older brother. You remember him from USC, right? They were the Twin Towers at USC. I'm surprised he didn't get more of an opportunity. And, the first thing when you see him, I have a breakdown. I have breakdowns of all these Summer League games on my Patreon all through Summer League. I'll even take a look at some of the top draft prospects. So if you want more of my real in detail scouting over highlights, I highly recommend it. It's the best way to support me in this channel. But, when Isaiah first checked into the game, I was like, boy, these Mobley boys is sassy, ain't they? Right? They just move sassy. It is what it is. But he's even bigger than his younger brother, Evan, carrying a little extra weight. I'm curious if it's by design. They're like, we want you to be heavier and more physical, or he needs to get in shape, or just a little bit of both. But the reality of it is, man, he is super skilled. I don't know what they list him at, well over 7 foot. He's a legit 7-footer, super long. And what he possesses, like Evan, is that natural distance management feel in pick and rolls. That's what I was most impressed with. And now, granted, he wasn't guarding, SGA coming off the pick and roll, but just the distance and his ability to kind of play that cat and mouse game, get contests, and be in the right spot. He has that trait offensively. He's a high post passer, confident handle, big, long step. I was calling him Kroger Anthony Towns. There's some Karl Towns to him where it's a little too finesse, and there's like this kind of goofiness to it, but he's super skilled. Now, he's not going to be the offensive player or prolific shooter that Towns is, but there's glimpses of that skill set where, he shows the three, big, long step, and is just more agile than you suspect. But I think more importantly, again, defensively, if he can hold his own as a rim protecting pick and roll big, I can't remember the last time we've had a true center prospect on our summer league team. That's been a pet peeve of mine for a long time is we tend to bring in these guys that it feels like you're just like charity or something. It's like, oh, we owe you a spot. We'll give you a try. Like, no, bring in a guy that could actually make the team. And Isaiah Mobley, I don't know how. So how old is Evan? Evan's got to be 25. He's got to be, past 25. He's got to be 26, 27. So, it's like a guy that's skilled and that big. Why isn't he on someone's roster? He's soft. There's no way around it. You can see the softness on him when it comes to rebounding. Doesn't get off the floor super quick. Doesn't have like a second jump, that type of stuff. But the skill and then the fit to our system, I think it's going to be intriguing to watch him throughout this summer league. He had a really good game. I was impressed with him. Jackson Rowe, I think, led the Warriors in scoring, and he's a guy that, was on the two-way spot at the end of the year last year. To me, he's just a jack of all trades where, what does he do that stands? You have to have one standout trait. He's like the generic NBA player. He's like 6'7" wing, shoots it all right, handles it all right, defends all right. He does everything all right. He doesn't have a standout trait. And so, while he's a good summer league player, I'm not, looking for him to make the roster. Marquise Bolden, you remember him last year, was just a rebounding machine. Didn't get enough opportunity last year in summer league. And then when he finally did, he blew the Achilles. So to see him back on the court starting and moving well it was great to see his determination to get back to this spot. And he's, again, a big rebounder who is another big that obviously they're interested in. I didn't see any ramifications from the Achilles. Encouraging to all these guys with those injuries, right? As far as the Lakers go, Dalton Knecht was out there, and he didn't look like a lottery pick in year 2, right? To me, what I see with Dalton is a guy that has imposter syndrome. He has imposter syndrome. If you look at his background, he was a 6'1" guard in high school, and then he had a giant growth spurt, played at a junior college, eventually transferred to Tennessee, was it, right? Where he had that big senior year. But I think that it's a confidence thing with him. When you look at Clay is like the greatest example of it, where it's like, is he 0 of 7? Is he 7 of 7? You can't tell, right? He's just going to shoot. He just doesn't care. He's unfazed, right? But even if you look at like a lesser, like Malik Beasley, who's been in the news lately, right? What makes these guys, these prolific shooters, it's not just the ability to make the shots. It's the willingness to go 0 of 5, 0 of 7, and just shoot it like you haven't missed, right? I don't see that from Knecht. But his skill set suggests he should be that type of bucket getter and scorer. But if he misses a couple, the confidence starts to waver, and then you put him on this Lakers team in that Bach trade, that probably set him back psychologically. So, at Knecht, I'm interested in him as a prospect. I think it's between the ears, and it's a confidence thing, and I'm not sure that he is going to find that on this Lakers roster with the microscope of Luka, LeBron, Redick so intense. He may need a new environment, so I wouldn't be surprised if they end up moving off him this season. And I think it would be a great buy low. If you could buy low on Dalton Knecht, I think in a different environment, he could be the bucket getter that people thought he could be. Anyway, we've got game 2 today. Fingers crossed we're going to see the 2 rookies. And if you want that breakdown, it'll be on my Patreon tomorrow, quarter by quarter of the summer league breakdowns. I don't do them quite like the Warriors ones where it's like the story of the game as well. This is more focusing in on the prospects. I'm not really worried about the outcome of the game per se. It's more about what did these guys do and how did they look. And I love covering that all summer league. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.